Welcome to another training of the CYF course. This one is about the brain. It is about trauma, about stress, fear, and what it does to a child's brain. And in order to help you understand that better, I am going to tell you a story from this book today about 3 children, Lily, Ben, and Amit. Lily, Ben, and Amit, they met in front of the school. Today, they really didn't feel like going to school. So Lily is suggesting to the others, hey, come on, we are running away. We are going to do some exploring today. So the 3 children set off for new adventures, and soon they come across a deep, dark forest. In this forest, there are monsters lurking everywhere, very badly shapen figures, evil gnomes and giants. And they were screaming and howling and roaring. And it looked as if the tree trunks had grimaces. The leaves were rustling. And the branches were trying to grab the children. And suddenly, a hole appears beneath their feet. And they fall deeper and deeper into that hole. But suddenly, the fall is broken by soft, colorful pillows, and they find themselves in a cave. It is bright, it is warm and friendly. And it smells nicely, freshly baked cake. And a large clock on the wall, tick tock, tick tock, and a calm voice that says, "Welcome, children. I have expected you. My name is Annelene." Soon after, all 4 of them sit down together. They nibble chocolate biscuits and drink tea. After a while, Annelene says, "I am sure you have a good reason for not being in school today." Omid nods and says, he can hardly manage to pay attention in school. It is impossible to sit still and listen. Everything distracts him. Quite often he cannot fall asleep at night, and then the next day he is even more fidgety. Lily sadly reports that she often loses her temper over very small things. She then starts to scream and fumes, and she lashes out and scares the other children. And therefore, the other children, they don't want to play with her. Ben sighs and tells them how often he feels sad and disheartened. To him, it seems that all the others can do everything better than him. Sometimes he does not even like to start a task. It is a waste of time because he won't understand it anyway. "Oh dear," says Annelene, "it really isn't fun to have to go to school like that." For a moment, it is very quiet and everybody is thinking. Do you know the story of the little lizard, the antenna, the bell, and reason? Asks Anne-Helene. And you can see that on the picture. The children shake their heads. Oh, it's high time somebody tells you about it. Anne-Helene makes herself comfortable. Normally, she says, reason reigns within us. It takes the reins and gives the orders. But we also have a kind of antenna. Its task is to recognize danger. It knows from earlier times what danger is. Finally, our brain contains a little lizard. Its task is to save us when we are in danger. So the antenna is on the lookout for danger. It has a bell, which it uses to alert us. When reason rules, we can listen, pay attention, learn, and have a good time with other people. And on the picture you can see how reason, the big blue blob, rules with the scepter in hand. The little lizard likes it best when it's at rest, but it's always ready for its next mission. When the bell rings, the little lizard is ready to act instantly. And as soon as the antenna recognizes danger, it rings the bell and alerts us. And on the picture, on the next picture, you can see how the antenna is awake and is ringing the bell. When the bell rings, the lizard wakes up, jumps up, and the lizard takes over the scepter and reins. The lizard only knows 3 orders that he gives: fight, flee, or freeze. Depending on the danger, it chooses one of these 3 options. And once the danger is over, the antenna stops ringing the bell. The lizard curls up, falls asleep, and lets reason do the ruling. Reason is not as fast, but it is good at remembering past situations and can calmly think about solutions. And it's great that we humans have these 3 things: reason, the antenna, and the fast lizard. Now let me give you an example. If you are crossing a road and you see a car speeding towards you, your antenna starts to ring the bell and you will start running. You will flee. You will not stop and try to fight the car, but you will run as fast as you can and save yourself. I can also explain that to you with your hand. This part of your hand is like the lizard, the brainstem. The thumb is the antenna, or also called the amygdala. Normally, the amygdala is in the middle of the brain. This part is the frontal cortex, or what it's called here, the reason. If the antenna, the amygdala, sees danger and starts to ring the bell, it's like this. The frontal cortex, the reason part, is completely disconnected. It's not working anymore. Only this part, the lizard, and this part are working. But once the danger is over, everything goes back to normal. the brainstem, the lizard, the little antenna is safely hidden, and the frontal cortex can work again. Reason has taken over again. But imagine there is the amygdala rings the bell again and again and again. That brain isn't working properly anymore. So can you imagine children who are afraid? They cannot work properly because reason is disconnected. We have to help them to connect again. Now let me go back to the story. So if a person has experienced bad things once or several times, the antenna, remember, becomes more and more sensitive. More and more often, it gives false alarm. It shouts, danger, 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 even though there is no danger. More and more often, the lizard jumps up and reacts. It makes the person fight, flee, or freeze. And because the lizard reacts so often, it becomes more powerful and does not give the reins back to reason straight away. This can be very stressful for such a person. So children who have experienced bad things, even if things are not bad, they think they are bad, and their amygdala, their antenna, is ringing, danger, 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 and they overreact. And this is very true for children with disordered attachment, with insecure attachment. Their antenna shouts, danger, danger, danger. Their brain isn't working properly. So it's very stressful for those children. For you, Ben, Annelene continues to say, the lizard makes you see everything in shades of grey. You don't feel happiness anymore, and you don't think that you will succeed in anything. For you, Omid, your antenna is constantly turned onto emergency status. It always checks whether any danger is about to happen. Therefore, you cannot pay attention in school. Your antenna is on high alert even at night, so you can't sleep properly. This kind of children sometimes feel as if they're constantly, is something happen? They are really alert and, of course, cannot pay attention. And Lily, your antenna seems to always think that you are being attacked and need to defend yourself. This also happens in situations when you are not really in danger. And maybe when you hear this story now, you have examples in mind, for example, of people who are constantly trying to fight and defend themselves, even when nobody is attacking them. Why do I like being with Annelene so much? Asks Ben. Lily is just as astonished. Why haven't I had a tantrum yet? And Omid wonders, why did I manage to sit still and listen? Well, it is simply because this is a safe place. Your lizards are feeling safe here. They can curl up, sleep, and let reason do the guiding. So that makes you feel safe too. Omid does not hear the last words anymore. For the first time in ages, he has fallen into a deep sleep. After a while, Annelene says, so, it's time to go back to school now. The children shake their heads in frightened protest. No way are they going back through that monster forest again. But Annelene smiles at them. don't be afraid. You have experienced a safe place, and you can take it with you. Whenever your little lizards want to wake up, think about this safe cave. Now I will give each one of you an object to allow you to walk through all the dark forests of this world without being frightened. Lily, when you realize that your lizard wants to wake up and knocks on your door to be let in and take control, you can tell it this: No, dear Miss Lizard, today does not suit me very well, and I cannot have any visitors. Maybe another time, but definitely not today. To make sure you don't forget to leave the lizard standing at the door, I will give you this bell. And Annelene gives Lily a little doorbell to remind her. To you, Ben, I am giving you a pair of pink glasses. Put them on as soon as your lizard tries to tell you that everything is bad. With these pink glasses on, you will realize how much you know and what you can do. All of a sudden, you will trust yourself to read, write, and calculate. For you, Omid, I have a wonderful sleeping hat. When you go to bed, you pull it over your eyes and ears, think about the cave, and fall into a deep sleep, which will allow you to rest and recover. Then, the next day, you will be able to pay attention. Ben immediately puts his glasses on. Lily takes the bell, and Omid places the hat over his shoulder. They look around the cave one last time to make sure they remember everything really well. They shut their eyes. Take a deep breath to remember the scent. Enjoy the warmth. And they listen to the tick-tock of the old grandfather clock. Then they wave goodbye to Annelene, and a moment later, they're back in the forest. It looks very different now. The leaves are sparkling with a fresh green color. The sun is flickering through the branches. The birds are singing, and it smells of spring. For a moment, Lily thinks she can see a monster peeking out from behind a tree. She quickly reaches for the bell and rings it. Straight away, the monster disappears. As they arrive back at school, the school bell rings. Lily, Ben, and Omid are quite surprised to be back in time for their next lesson, despite their adventurous journey. The teacher is just as surprised as Ben follows really well in math. Lily does not have any fits of anger, and Omid sits on his chair quietly and attentively. So in this story we've learned that in order for the brain to heal, for the amygdala to stay in place and not constantly ring the bell, children need a safe place. So how can we help children to have that safe place, or even more important, to have safe people, to know that the people they are with are safe? What do they need to look for? Children need to know that safe people will be kind to them. Safe people will care about them. Safe people will not hurt them. Safe people will listen to them. Take time to listen to them. What do the children have to say? Safe people will not threaten them. If you do this or this, then this will happen. This is a threat. Safe people are not threatening children. Safe people will not tell them to keep a secret from their parents. And safe people will not touch them in ways that are scary or hurtful. And again, we want to be the safe people for these children. People where they feel, like Annelene in this story, that they can rest and relax, that their brains, their amygdalas, can stop ringing the bell, that they can be back in place, and that reason, the frontal cortex of our brains, can take the rein, can take the scepter, and can give orders, that the lizard can sleep. Let's help children and let's be this safe people for children. And again, there are questions that you can read and that you can answer for yourself about the things you have been learning in this story.